These were the scenes at Arsenal's training ground as the full-time whistle blew. Bournemouth 1, Manchester City 1 means the Gunners are your Premier League champions for the first time in 22 years. Hello and welcome into the ESPN FC studios. I'm Dan Thomas, joined by Shaka Hislop and Stevie Nicol. Arsenal fans can come out from behind the couch because they've done it. They have crossed the line. Don Hutchison joins us to reflect on Arteta's side winning the title. Don, let's start with you. Deserving victors.
Absolutely. They've got the job done, Dan. I mean, all that hard work, all the graft, all the pre-season, the million of times you train on the training ground and you prep in and all the hard work that goes into winning every single Premier League game. You have to congratulate them. They've been worthy champions. Yeah,
very much so, Stevie. And they kind of built the foundation of this victory in the first half of the season.
Yeah, there's no question they were the best side in England, and actually at times you could argue that they were the best side on the planet. The second part of the season didn't go quite the way they wanted, but at the end of the day, when that final whistle went at Bournemouth, whatever reason you win the title, it doesn't really matter. The most important thing is you win the title. And I guess if you're an Arsenal fan now, you're thinking, OK, how do we continue this? How do we keep this going? Yeah. Because it was a nervy end. But now that's all put away. That's all gone to bed. And quite frankly, this Arsenal team can turn up at the start of next season and look to be as good for the rest of the campaign. Not just half the season, but be at their best for the whole season. That is entirely possible because there's no question this will calm everybody down, and particularly Arteta.
Shaq, we all got mates who are Arsenal fans who've been telling us a long time, it's not going to happen. We've blown it again. Yeah. But this time, they can wake up tomorrow morning knowing that it's done.
Listen, a lot of Arsenal fans very nervous and with good cause.
This is in London.
These celebrations have been a long time coming. And to the point that Arsenal have been the bridesmaids, it seems, season after season after season. 2 years ago, you can look at the Saliba injury as to maybe cost them the title then. Last season, Saka's injury, and that took a toll. This time, they got over the line. It was a lot closer than many of us expected, maybe 4 or 5 months ago. Give Manchester City their credit, and maybe more to the point, the two signings in Semenyo and Gehi of making a title race of this. But Arsenal, down the stretch, yes, they gave themselves just enough buffer in the first half of the season, but as the guys have alluded to here, over 38 games, and yes, we still have one to go. Somebody comes out champion at the end. You cannot dispute that.
How much credit should Arteta get for this, Don?
Oh, all of it, Dan. All of it. Hit him in the hierarchy when you're planning the route and you're planning the style. And you know, you look at Man City just very quickly, and you look at two midfield players that are playing at fullbacks. You look at Arsenal, the recruitment that they've done, and you just think they're proper men playing at the back. They want to have clean sheets. He bought David Raya, and when he bought David Raya, we were all going, well, he's not really an upgrade on Ramsdale. Well, absolutely is. He's one of the best goalkeepers in the world at the moment. So you look at them, you see the numbers, you see how hard they are to beat. Depends on what philosophy and style of football you like, where their philosophy is, you ain't going to score goals against us. We're going to be hard to beat. We're going to rely on set plays. We're going to buy people like Declan Rice, who cost over 100 million quid. Then you buy Gyökeres. You've got homegrown talent like Saka. You know, the building. And as Stevie said there, they can look forward now to a completely different challenge in PSG in a Champions League final. Have the summer off, regroup, have a half an eye on what you want to do going forward. You want to change the style and make them a little bit easier on the eye, because City will come again. You would imagine that Liverpool might come again, and Chelsea with Xabi Alonso might have a title charge if they get no European football. But for Arsenal, I think Arteta, with the flack that he gets, the way he jumps around sometimes the touchline and the technical area, it's not likeable, it's not great. You don't latch onto it. But who cares if you're an Arsenal fan? You know, he's your man that's got you the first title in over 20 years. He has to come out of this with enormous credit, the amount of work that he's put in.
And this team has matured, Don. Obviously, last year we talked about their discipline issues. This year, no red cards, no penalties conceded.
I mean, it's a little bit of a miracle considering Gabriel might have been sent off against Man City and Kai Havertz should definitely have been sent off last night. But saying that, that's what hindered them in the past. We sat here and we said, listen, the amount of red cards they got last year, the amount of injuries they had, as the lads have alluded to, cost them. So you put those two things together. Those things have definitely been rectified this season.
Shall I ask it or not ask?
Well, go on. Ask it.
Have Arsenal got better this season, or have the rest got worse?
Well, worse as compared to what? I think City are better than they were last season. There's no question to that. City were desperately poor last season. I think Liverpool have regressed from where they were last season. But in Liverpool, maybe there's a lesson for Nicol Arteta here in terms of what you do in the summer. Arne Slot wins his title last year, spends a lot of money on the squad. When we sat here last summer, beginning of August, we thought it was money very well spent. But you have a team that has ground out for as long as they have to be crowned as Premier League champions. Now the question is, how do you add to that? Does it upset that balance? So those are the problems that Nicol Arteta wants to have in a summer such as this. He'll deal with that when the time comes. Arsenal, of course, still have the small matter of a Champions League final, but the big title is the domestic league title.
Did you answer my question, Shaq?
What was your question again?
I think
Arsenal got better, everyone else got worse.
I know, well,
it's unfair.
Yeah.
It's unfair.
I'm with Stevie. It's unfair. Yes, it's unfair.
It's unfair to say anything other than Arsenal have gotten better.
Right.
Because they have gotten better. I mean, we were sitting here in the first part of the season talking about them as the best team in Europe because of the way they were playing. When was the last... We never said that about them previous years. We said they were a good team. We said they'd got themselves in a great position to win the league, but they didn't quite do it. But this year, at times, they absolutely have been the best team in Europe. Now, I think it's clear that the fact they haven't won a title for 22 years was in the back of their mind, and it did affect Arteta, that I think transformed onto his players, which made it hard for them to see it out, even though they have done. But guess what? They're in the Champions League final as well. So how can you say they're not better this year than they've previously been? Because they've won the title, they've been the best side, and they're in the Champions League final as well. So you can't say anything other than, yes, they are better.
That's right.
But it has helped that the other teams have regressed.
You can't.
City has regressed.
If you want to sit here and argue about who's better, who's worse, this team did that. I've just told you that Arsenal, this season, were the best team in Europe and on the planet, and they're in the Champions League final. And you want to sit and talk about, is it the other teams being garbage is the reason why they've won it? Unfair.
Don?
I think it's a fair question. I think the honest answer is there's somewhere that lies. I think both things are true. I think Arsenal 100% have got better. Liverpool have definitely got worse. Man City are going through a transitional period, and that's credit to Guardiola, where your team and your club's going through a transitional period, and yet you walk away with a double. So I think the honest answer is, with the points tally that they're on, they're nowhere near hitting 100 points, but who cares if you're an Arsenal fan? So you have 100% got better, but the challenge hasn't come from Liverpool this season. It's not really been, at the start of the season, the best version of Man City. So I think the question that you're asked, Dan, is a valid one and a fair one.
Does this help or hinder them going forward, looking short-term to the Champions League final?
I think losing the title, if they had lost the title,
yes.
I think the kind of hangover, the impacts are far greater. I think it's a difficult come down after lifting this Premier League title. It's a difficult come down just to get those emotions in check and almost start afresh for the Champions League final against a team, especially like PSG. That's difficult in itself. I think it would have been far more difficult had they not won the title, had City pipped them to the post. That's a different set of emotions to deal with altogether.
Absolutely helps them. Mm-hmm. Absolutely 100% helps them. Everything will be settled. They've got the title wrapped up. It's all done and dusted. This is a free kick. This is a free game for them, really.
You think so?
Absolutely. They're going into this thinking, we can win this game. And by the way, if we win this, Premier League and the Champions League in one season.
Yeah.
Oh, 100%. They think they're just going to go and play. Had they not won the title, this would have been a different ball game. You talk about pressure, you talk about people questioning them. All of that has disappeared. Now it's just about going and playing. Champions League final, and you're just saying, go play. Yes, please.
It's interesting when we talk about titles, you say it's always hard to defend. Arsenal will definitely go into start next season as favourites.
Yes, I think they will. I think they will, and I think the struggles they've had at times in the second part of the season is actually going to help them next season.
Right.
So yeah, and rightly so, they will be. Yeah, teams will go out and spend money, no question. But, I mean, end of the day, would you rather be in Arsenal's shoes with the squad they have? Because do they need to sign anybody? I think we'd probably all say they could do with a proper bona fide 25 goals a season centre forward. But other than that, they're good to go. Everybody else is trying to catch up and try to figure a way out and try to get their squads better. Because Arsenal, no question, arguably has the best squad in the league.
Not just his squads, but I think, as we said, there's far more questions about everybody else. Arne Slot at Liverpool, Maresca, who's probably coming in at Manchester City. Those are questions that we're still not quite sure about. We know about Arsenal, we know about Arteta, we know how deep the squad is. I'm with Stevie that maybe they can still go out and get that 25 goal a season striker, but I'm not sure that player is out there and available to Arsenal. But right now, they've proven themselves the best team in the league. Continue to build on that. Let everybody else worry about their questions, what they have to do. As long as Arsenal just keep things ticking over, keep things pretty much as they are, to your question, they start this season as favourites.
So does this start a dominant period for Arsenal, Don?
I think that's impossible, Dan, because I think many people were thinking dominant period for Liverpool when won the title last year. I think it all depends on what Man City and Guardiola do. You question when you're saying about starting favourites next year. If Guardiola stays at Man City, I think, as I said before, transitional period coming away with a double, and they will go again in the summer. I wouldn't have put Arsenal down as favourites. I would have had them 50-50 with Man City. The fact that if Guardiola goes, is Maresca going to come in and win a title in his first season? Highly unlikely. So all the building blocks are in place. If you're Arsenal Arteta, there's probably no way where you need to strengthen. Maybe a little bit on the bench, but he's got the Mavericks in the likes of Eza. He's got Madueke. He's got front men. He's got goals. He's got defenders that want to defend. He's got loads of fullbacks that, as I said before, really want to defend and put their bodies on the line. Top-class goalkeeper. It'd be very hard to see where he goes in the summer and brings in that sort of elite player, because their squad is unbelievably strong.
Don, didn't you start that answer by saying, no, this won't be a dominant period for Arsenal? Now you've just told us why it's going to be.
Well, no, because I said if Guardiola stays,
Guardiola's going, Don. What have you been for the last 24 hours?
Well, Man City haven't said anything, so I'll wait on that one. I agree with you. I think he's probably gone. Is Maresca going to come in and win the league? No. So dominance is back-to-back titles, yes. Are they going to win it 4 years on the spin? Highly unlikely, because teams will come again. But as the lads have said, without touching a thing, Arsenal, you would imagine, would go into the start of the next season favourites.